Today is day 5 of Unit 6. We're going to talk about performing multiple operations with polynomials. So make sure you pay attention to your order of operations. Remember, parentheses, then exponents, then we multiply and divide from left to right, and add and subtract from left to right. On the next page, you'll see just a review of all the operations we've done on polynomials so far. All right, so let's jump in. Okay, so the first one, just zoom in a little bit. All right, so the first one that we have is very similar to something that we've already done. Okay, there we go. Make sure you guys are writing down the ones that are for homework. Okay, so now normally you guys would just distribute. You would just look at this and you'd say, okay, I just got to distribute. But what I want you to notice is that sometimes if you follow the order of operations, you actually can do this a little quicker. So I noticed that I actually have some things that can combine in here. So let's do that first. So I get 2x squared plus 8x minus 2. It's so much less to distribute, okay, and then you don't have to do it at the end. So now I get negative 10x squared minus 40x plus 10. And you're done. Okay, so make sure if you can combine like terms in the beginning, do that first because it's so much easier to get that out of the way. All right, number 2, unfortunately you cannot do that this way, so we just got to distribute then combine. So you can distribute the negative 4 into the first trinomial and then 3 into the second. So I get a positive 8p squared plus 8p minus 28. This is addition, so I don't have to keep my parentheses. So I get a 3p squared plus 12p plus 3. Now you can go ahead and combine like terms. So I get 11p squared plus 20p minus 25. Boom, done. Try to make this as short and sweet as I can, just like all the other ones. Okay. Next one. All right, so again, I'm going to combine like terms first, okay? Trying to make 3 different types of lines. All right, so keep that negative x on the outside. This is still positive, so as I combine them, I can just take that away. So I have a negative 2x squared and a positive 5x squared. So that gets me a 3x squared. I have a negative x and a positive 14, so that would get me a positive 13x. And then 17 and 3 is just 20. Now go ahead and distribute, and you get negative 3x cubed minus 13x squared minus 20x. Really simple. All right, so we know that by far the hardest thing we've done so far is subtracting. So now this one would look like this. So we want the difference. So 3x squared minus 2x plus 5 minus x squared plus 3x minus 2. And we want that whole thing to be multiplied by half x squared. So let's just leave this hanging on the outside at first. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite this without parentheses in the inner. Okay? So remember, you keep the first, and then we change all of these, then we combine. So remember, keep, change, combine. KC squared. Alright, so again, negative x squared, 3x changed to a negative, and 2 changes to a positive. Alright, oh, not going to distribute yet. Remember, it's so much easier before you have to do all of this multiplying. Let's combine these terms. Okay, so I'm going to get a 2x squared minus 5x plus 7. So now I'm going to distribute. Okay, so let's see. Half of 2 is 1, so this just becomes x to the 4th. Half of 5 is 2.5, so that becomes x cubed. And half of 7 is 3.5, so 3.5x squared. Not too shabby. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that outside, but it is annoying. Alright, next one. On a roll. Okay, so we have the sum of a of x, which is here, and b of x. So let's go ahead and do that. So 4x squared plus 10x minus 50 plus negative 5x squared minus 3.5x plus 2.1. I know, lots of decimals, but you guys have a calculator, so use it. Okay, and then that is all going to be multiplied by 0.8x cubed y. Alright, so now we are adding, so let's just throw this out front. Alright, so in the inside, let's see, I have a negative x squared. I have a positive 6.5x, and I have a negative 47.9. Yeah. Okay. Just double check my calculations. Okay, so for this one, we have a negative 1 right here, so this is going to be negative 0.8. My x will become to the 5th, and then carry along that y. 6.5 times 0.8 is 5.2. Let me double check. 0.8 times 6.5, 5.2. Okay, so 5.2 x to 4th y, and then 47.9 times 8 would be a 38.32 x cubed y. And there's your final answer. Not pretty, but again, that's the answer. Ooh, perusing. All right. Number 6, we are going to have for homework. Okay, remember to combine in parentheses, then distribute. Okay, that's my helpful hint. All right, number 7. All right, number 7, we have to distribute, then we can combine because the parentheses are separate. Okay, so let's see, a quarter, remember that, so now if you don't know what a quarter of negative 2 is, you can multiply it by 0.25 if you must. So this becomes a negative 0.5x squared minus 0.5x plus 1.75, yeah, 1.75. And then we are adding that to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x. So again, try to unravel this or reorder this in standard form. Would be the best. So this becomes a positive 3.5x squared, a positive 0.5x plus 1.75. Don't let the decimals scare you. All right. I'd love to give 8 for homework, but I know you guys are going to get confused, so we'll do it together. Okay. Sorry, that wasn't a dig. Okay, oh, wrong thing. Okay, let's combine first. So we get negative a squared b, and then let's do in parentheses. So I have a negative 2a and a positive 5a squared, sorry. So we get a 3a squared. I have a negative b and a positive 14, so that gets me positive 13b, and then 20. Okay, so be careful with your exponents and your variables. So a squared times a squared is a to the 4th b. Then I get a negative 13a squared b squared, and then a negative 20a squared b. Okay. All right, number 9, I'm going to help set it up for you, but I'm going to have you guys do the math on your own. Okay, so the difference, 3m squared minus 2mn. So that's going to be 3m squared minus 2mn plus n minus negative m squared plus 10mn minus 2n. Okay, that whole thing is going to be multiplied by 0.2m squared. Okay, so you're going to do the inside and then do the multiplication. Okay, finish for homework. Okay, and the last one, another challenging question. So we want the sum, so 1/2 x squared plus x minus 5. I want to add that to negative 3/4 x squared minus 3x plus 1/4. And then we are going to multiply that by 3xy to the 5th. So I'm going to get 3xy to the 5th. Let's see, what do I want to do? Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change all of these to decimals. So 0.5x squared plus x minus 5 plus negative 0.75 x squared minus 3x plus 0.25. Okay, again, do what's in parentheses and then distribute. Finish this for homework. And that is the end of this chapter.